And I had to laugh so hard, ha 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 ha, because I had not a lethal line before, but now because my opponent dropped in the Biro, I have a lethal line. Hello and welcome to another episode of my Master Duel series, and today I want to showcase you more replays from my Duelist Cup. And in this episode I want to go over replays where I bricked and I still managed to win with brickings. And if you suck at Master Duel and want to win more often, better subscribe to my channel right now, it's almost certainly going to make you a better player. And here we are in the first game. And my opening hand looks absolutely terrible, so I have 0 tier starters, only Scream, but I would need to top deck into a Hardness or tier cache with the Maxi, and then Scream could become live. But right now, everything is completely dead. I have only Super Purrely and Maxi to defend myself. My opponent starts with the Ode, and then stand up. So my opponent is on Centurion, and I chain the Maxi here, but I get hit with Ash Blossom. Okay, and now I have nothing left except Super Purrely. So how can I win this game with only one Super Purrely as my only wall of defense? So I allow my opponent to go for the Gargoyle, and then I chain Super Purrely, remove the Primera. And now I have a Garura, and the Garura draw 1 could save me here. So let's see what I top deck. I top deck a Fenrir, and now my opponent shotguns out. Alright. And then Garura in attack, because my plan is to crash into the Gargoyle and get the 1-drop from Garura. My opponent spotted this plan and decided to shotgun the Centurion cards, and now going for a Synchro Summon. But my opponent is missing one level 4 tuner to go for the double Synchro 12 line, so my opponent can make only one level 12 Synchro, and my opponent goes for Auxilia. My opponent summoned Auxilia in defense so that I can no longer crash the Garura. But that should be still perfectly fine for me, as you're going to see right now. So opponent prevented crashing Garura, and now I can just go for the Destrudo in the graveyard. So going for the Destrudo here, and then Tribute Summon Fenrir. Garura, draw 1, and I top deck into Crime, which is perfect because now the tier cache is live and I can go for the tier cache without having to banish my Fenrir. So tier cache, and then milling 6 cards. And now I can finally start to play with my tier engine. So I hit the Sharon, which is perfect because now I get a free Kid Carlos, and I also get to add back the Crime that I just banished with the tier cache. Yeah, all it takes is one single mill 6, 1 mill 6, and I'm completely back in the game. And now Centurion gets cooked. And then Kid Carlos switching Rhinoheart, and now I can go Kid Carlos, take out into Rhinoheart, mill 5 Kid Carlos, Foolish 1 with Rhinoheart, easy. So Rhinoheart chaining 2, Kid Carlos chaining 1. So I send the Hardness first, and then I get to mill 5 random cards. I hit nothing to chainblock the Hardness, but it should be still perfectly fine here. So Hardness and Carlos into Rook colors. And by the way, you may notice that I'm still under Maxi, but I don't care. I'm cooking the opponent right now even under Maxi. So Snow here, and then we go for Dugaris. And now it's time to cook with Dugaris. So Dugaris special summon the Destrudo. Yeah, you can do that. And now I have this Destrudo again, so I can make a Synchro Summon with this Destrudo. So we banish 7, go into Fairy Tail Snow. And my opponent already scooped! Yeah, we completely destroyed Centurion with a brick hand. Alright, here we are in the next game, and my opening hand looks absolutely terrible. I have only tier cache, and I could draw with Maxi into a tier cache banish and then try to play during the opponent's turn, but other than that I can't do anything, except setting Droplet Pass. My opponent starts with Nightmare Throne, which is extremely scary because my opponent could combo me here with Yubel, and I would be completely lost if my opponent went for the Yubel full combo. But my opponent doesn't know that I'm on Tearlaments, so my opponent respects some potential hand traps and decides to not go full combo here. So we go Dark Beckoning Beast, additional normal summon, and then SP Little Knight. And SP was not summoned with Almirage, so SP won't get a banish and I can just keep my droplet and play during my turn. So let's see how my opponent can deal with the one Simare that I just top decked here. So Simare sending Happiness. Maxi, for sure. But I don't care unless my opponent top decks into a Spirit of Yubel specifically. And I should be able to deal with a top deck Spirit of Yubel anyways. So Espelil Knight on Kid Carlos. And here is where I chain drop it because I don't want my Kid Carlos to get banished. So drop it negating the SP, and now it's time to cook. So adding the Sharon, and then I can go Sharon, discard the tier cache, mill 3 with Sharon, mill 2 with the tier cache, and then mill 8 with Kid Carlos in the tier cache. So milling 3, milling 2, I hit the Scream, I hit the Meta Noise, and now Meta Noise to add back tier cache in case my opponent top decked a Veiler with Maxi. And then Kid Carlos resolves, so Kid Carlos mill 5, tier cache mill 3, milling 8 cards in total. And I should be able to set up a lethal line through Espelil Knight here, and even if my opponent has Spirit of Yubel, I can just beat it with Baron de Fleur and Rukalos combined. So I go for the Baron de Fleur here, which protects me against the potential hand raise from the opponent, like Effect Veiler, but also Spirit of Yubel in the battle phase. And then we go for Sharon, and Sharon into Rukalos. But then I figured out I don't have lethal yet. So hopefully I can top deck into extender like Grief with the Talents, and Grief top deck would be lethal here. So Talents draw 2. But unfortunately Talents doesn't top deck into a Grief, and Grief would be lethal here. So I can just attack with Baron and Rukalos, put my opponent on better habit, and then just pass the turn. It was a little bit unfortunate I didn't top deck the Grief here, because then I would have a Grief into tier cache, sending the Rukalos, Rukalos revive herself. And now Maxi in the opponent's turn gets hit with a Ash Blossom, and then my opponent reveals Tri-Brigade Karas into Nerval. Okay, that is pretty interesting because I did not expect Tri-Brigade stuff in this Yubel deck. And my opponent just scooped. Even with 8 cards in the hand, I have still 5 interruptions, and my opponent realized it and said, alright, I have enough. And after the really unexpected surrender from Yubel Tri-Brigade, I have a third game where I bricked. So here my only starter was Grief, and Grief got ashed. But even if Grief doesn't get ashed, I still need to send a tier cache and hit a tier name with the tier cache mill 2, which isn't that likely. So Grief gets ashed here. All I can do is just set a snow and pray that I top deck into something useful with the Maxi in case the Maxi resolves. Which isn't always guaranteed because the opponent could be on Call by the Grave, Ash Blossom, or Cross or Designator. And my opponent is on Purrely here. That means even under Maxi, my opponent should be able to set up a Noir without giving me that many draws. And my opponent went for the Purrely, and then my friend. And then upgrade into Happiness. And Happiness can set up a 5 material Noir by attacking into Snow and then getting 1 material with each attack. So attack, 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 and with each attack 1 free material. And then in the main phase 2, Purrely upgrading into Beauty. And now my opponent should have Noir and Beauty set up. My opponent also decides to eat my Fairy Tale Snow, which is a little bit unfortunate. And now I have to find a winning line with this opening hand against the Noir from my opponent. And here is where I chain Heartbeat to discard a Trivikama to prevent a potential top deck Ash Blossom negating my Trivikama. So Trivikama slash the Pearl Rhino before the opponent gets the opportunity to top deck into a Ash Blossom. And then Purrely, I just chain Maxi, but it's only Upstart Goblin here. And then he resolves and my opponent gets a big fat Noir. And also my opponent can just reset the Sleepy Memory and draw additional cards. And now my opponent has 4 cards and draw Unblockable, which was a top deck cantrip by the Noir. So how could I beat that Underdraw and Lockbird? Well, we start with the Rhinoheart and chaining one stream, chaining two Rhinoheart, just to get the debuff on the cats. And then I hit Tear Cache and the Strudo. Both of them are really nice mills to have. So Tear Cache milling 2 cards, and then Halfness can fusion summon. My opponent decides to allow that. I think the logic of my opponent is that the opponent could always shuffle back the Kid Carlos with the Noir. So I go Kid Carlos here, chaining 1, Purrely and chaining 2, trying to pop to my friend, but I think it's heavy protected. And my opponent just chains the beauty to negate Kid Carlos, which is completely fair. And then on resolution, my opponent goes for the Noir, trying to shuffle back my Kid Carlos. So detaching 2 and I chain the Forbidden Droplet. So the Droplet should keep my Kid Carlos on the field while also sending the Clown to the graveyard. But my opponent is actually really smart because my opponent spotted that you can chain the Yeep. So Yeep, shuffle back and then chain Noir to the Yeep effect, which plays around Forbidden Droplet. It's really well played on my opponent's side, and now Noir can resolve and spin as many cards as possible. And now I'm left on only 2 cards in the hand. So what could I possibly do with those 2 cards in the hand? Actually, I can do a lot with only 2 Grief, as you're going to see right now. So Grief into Rhinoheart. The Rhinoheart is sent to the graveyard, but I can just special summon back the Rhinoheart because I have 1 Tearlaments card in my hand. And now it's time for the Strudo, and now my opponent is completely cooked. So the Strudo on Rhinoheart. Now we go the Strudo into Primadonna, and because my opponent went for the Purrely Leap, now I can go into Deep Sea Primadonna and Primadonna add back the Yeep to my opponent's hand and special summon another Rhinoheart from the deck. So Rhinoheart here into Psychic and Punisher. And then trying to enter battle phase, but my opponent hits me with a Nibiru. And I had to laugh so hard, ha 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 ha, because I had not a lethal line before, but now because my opponent dropped a Nibiru, I have a lethal line. Congratulations to the opponent, you completely outplayed yourself and you gave me a lethal line for free when it was not lethal before. Oh, that was so fun. Yeah, my opponent completely threw the game by dropping the Nibiru and I had a lethal line all of the sudden when it was not lethal before, and I just won the 3rd game after a brick hand. And I hope this was enjoyable to watch. Anyways, see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.